Hey, what's up guys? Your average wargamer is back with another video of World of Warships. And today I'm going to be featuring a Tier 8 premium battleship, and that is French Champagne. Now Champagne is basically a battleship that is kind of not, I have seen a lot of videos like in the YouTube channel, but this ship is certainly something of a topic to basically talk about. And honestly, this French battleship is basically a Tier 8 sniper like Tier 10 Slava. And what I am talking about is basically that these guns that Champagne does have, only 6 of them, having a massive firepower under its capabilities. Well, what Champagne does is basically it has the penetration unlike anything in this game at this tier. Like insane numbers of penetration values, and basically the battlecruiser dispersion that it has makes this ship the ultimate sniper for this tier, just like a Tier 10 Slava. But at least at this tier, the Champagne has 406mm guns, which is basically pretty good at this tier. Unlike Slava, that at Tier 10 it has 406mm guns, which basically struggles to overmatch those Tier 10 cruisers that have tanky plating. In this case, Champagne does not have this weakness, which basically makes Champagne a really strong ship to take down even cruisers and even battleships. I'm going to be explaining this whole gameplay, and well, it is a massive, great game with amazing results, but unfortunately I just missed my world record because of my not being very much selfish to getting that number. And here you will see what I'm gonna do with this Charles Martel. Did you saw that? This is what Champagne is about. I just simply dev strike this Charles Martel with just one salvo. 3 citadels, a first blood because he was broadsiding me pretty hard, and that is what the Champagne is basically all about. Dealing damage like ridiculously good accuracy, very decent dispersion because it again have Slava levels of dispersion ellipse. What I mean by that is the further your ship is gonna be from the ship, the more accurate your salvo is gonna be. That is also true for Slava, but it is also true for this ship. So I mean, this ship basically having very, very good capabilities in terms of sniping cruisers. And the problem with the Champagne obviously has that even though these guns are amazing and you can able to see this pinpoint accurate dispersion that can literally do great damage. Here again I missed the really good salvo on that Riga. If I would have a chance, I would have easily dev strike him as well, but I didn't able to. But the problem with this ship is that it has a bow and stern that is pretty vulnerable to getting overmatched, because again it at Tier 8 it only has 25mm bow and stern, which basically means that every battleship that has 380mm guns or above can literally overmatch this ship. Again, a very juicy the salvo on that poor Tier 8 Amagi, and you can able to see that the salvo and the damage number that you can pump out is pretty devastating. I mean, the sniper playstyle of this ship is not something that I really like to see, because it's simply not that really strong thing to do. Like, it's something like that I'm not a big fan of, I would say. But certainly, if you like sniping battleships or cruisers, well, you can certainly get this Champagne to do that exact same thing. Really dev striking those cruisers with amazing dispersion and pretty good salvos here, as you can able to see. But all it requires is a good aim, and if you can aim properly, as you can able to see, I just missed out on Prince Eugen because these are only 6 guns. Regardless, I just dev strike that poor Charles Martel. Now I will be able to dev strike another ship, and that is Albemarle. Again, doing the same mistake, broadsiding to these 6 guns, and I mean, it has 36,000 HP. And if you really broadsiding to Champagne, well, this is what exactly going to happen. Another death strike goes to Champagne, and basically 121k damage in just under 5 minutes. That is hilarious to watch. But at the same time, it's sad that the cruisers are not understanding this situation, that how powerful the Champagne can be at long range sniping. Here you can able to see our team constantly throwing their ships away, like Shimanto and Schultz just died. And well, that's the problematic thing about this game, that my team is not doing anything in this game. They're literally throwing their ships away, just like a couple of their enemy ship gameplay that they did here as well, like Charles Martel and Albemarle. But regardless, I will show you the gameplay here, since the Champagne is very, very fun to play sometimes because of these juicy salvos that you can pump out. Even though you can able to see, just like I said previously, the armor is not the best. You can take massive damage, not only from the superstructure but also from the bow and stern, and it is also having a vulnerable citadel, which basically means that Champagne is definitely not a brawling ship, rather than it has to be played really at long ranges. Here Alaska, you have seen that overmatch that 406mm guns did, because Alaska only can tank 380mm guns, and since I'm shooting him on the superstructure, couple of shell hits does help me to do pretty okay damage, and you can able to see I did pumped out quite a bit of that damage. And obviously the Champagne also has access to spotter plane, which you have seen me previously using, as well as it also have the speed boost. So speed boost is also pretty good. I'm dropping this Kansas with a nasty salvo, but I think he's gonna turn out. But never mind, I still did almost 13k damage, and that is the strength of the Champagne. You can keep farming these battleships that show broadside at long ranges, and you get decent results regardless. Here Alaska shooting me, but since I'm at long range, I can use my speed boost to just completely juke his shells, which you did. That Alaska didn't manage to get that salvo there. Again, you can able to see that overmatch did 11,000 damage. Alaska constantly missing the shells because of the high speed of the Champagne. So I mean, that's one of the things that you should do when you are playing this ship, and you can just pump out pretty good damage. And here I'm just dropping the salvo on the Marlborough, but the Marlborough decided to just kite away, and I think I will miss my shells completely here. And yeah, it's just an overpan because he just run away. He turned out, and I mean that's basically the weakness, I would say. I mean, for typical all the battleships, if no one show broadside, there is nothing that can basically help them to tank your shells. So you can be able to mitigate quite a bit of that damage if you just do that. But again, here you see that the Kansas broadsiding again, and I mean, you can just at these ranges can definitely do some good damage. Here I think the shells dispersion was a bit wonky. Get only 3 shells penetration hits on the Kansas, and 3 shells did land short. But regardless, the damage you can pump out is pretty good, and I am already at 175k damage, which is pretty nice. And this is how you should play Champagne, to just shoot at long ranges, hit on the superstructure if the enemy ship is not broadsiding. Here I did exactly the same thing, hit on the superstructure and somehow managed to basically break his gun temporarily. So yeah, speed juking is also very essential when you play Champagne, and if you do keep doing this, there's a good chance that you can tank almost 1,000,000 damage like this, and I only used 1 heal. By the way, the Champagne only has access to just 3 heals base, and obviously 1 more extra heal that you can get from that commander skill. So in total you can have 4 heals instead of 5. So a bit atypical of battleships, just like Slava. Slava also have access to 1 less heal, just like in this case Champagne has. So I mean, I'm playing it safe here, and our team somehow manages to throwing over ships right now, since they are in the middle of nowhere in a massive crossfire from the A and C, and not understanding and realizing this situation. Clearly it's a bit of a problem that you will soon see that even though you are a great sniper, because not having brawling capabilities basically limits your gameplay in some way, because well, at the end you are just supporting team with just farming battleships at long range. Pretty selfish sort of gameplay and pretty stale one, which is something that is not healthy in my opinion for the game. But yeah, there are only a couple of ships that can do that, and Champagne is just an exception. In this case, my speed boost does run out, but I have only one more speed boost that I can use to basically push from the 910 line, because now I have realized that if we didn't push from C, it's gonna be game over, and we have lost quite a lot of ships. The Cataluna, as you can able to see on the B and C, he's also almost dead. So game seems to be looking pretty bad, and I did even though a very good 196k damage. The limitation of the Champagne is pretty much there. You cannot push in this ship. The bow and stern limitations, along with, well, HP pool that actually have gotten buffed, by the way. It used to have 52,000 something HP, and then recently, I think in couple of patches ago, they just buffed the Champagne, which is also pretty nice to see, but that does not make him a better brawler or something. You can just limit yourself to sniping here. I think I just missed my salvo. I was expecting the Kansas to basically slowly move forward, but he did not at all, which basically makes my salvo slightly aimed in front of his bow. Now there is the Alabama. I don't know what he's doing. He could have tanked quite a lot and push with me here, but yeah, he's kind of staying here. And maybe now he's pushing, but I think it might be slightly bit late since our team is in big trouble. And this Kansas seems to be looking to turn out. Maybe taking a shot on him is pretty good. Did only 10k damage, didn't get a citadel, but you can able to see the speed juking along with turning out helps to tank that Kansas. And this is pretty much the playstyle that Champagne has. Very good firing angles as well, as you can able to see that when you are in a kiting position, your firing angles is also excellent, so you can basically tank less damage directly, and you can basically speed juke the shells if you have to. Here I saw that there is a Marlboro that is basically broadsiding, and again with all the stuff going on in the game, there is something that we call lands shell short. I think one of the shells did hit, and all the shells that I aimed around the waterline didn't hit at all. Instead, I just get pretty much the same thing, and that is the shells landing short. A bug in the game which I really don't like, but I don't know when they're gonna be changing or fixing that thing, because sometimes when it happens it could be an utter frustration. Here I'm shooting this again, this Marlboro, and Marlboro has actually a very vulnerable citadel, if you know. So I'm shooting this guy. I think I might get a citadel. No, sadly the shells land short again, and this Marlboro, he could have been killed with this salvo, didn't die because, well, the game decided not to do that, and the bug is causing issues, which I was so unfortunate to see, but there's nothing that I can do. I'm just gonna shoot this Marlboro. He's just constantly broadsiding me. This is the third time that he broadsided me now, and I'm not sure if I can able to land a single shell on the citadel. And well, finally I got a citadel, just like I said, but the shells dispersion was not with me this time, and Marlboro got away with this. So again, Alabama also get a citadel, but I think he will turn out, and yeah, the potential damage that I can do is not gonna be enough, and he probably be able to kite out. Here the dispersion somehow seems to be a bit wonky, did some damage, but yeah, I mean with battlecruiser dispersion, and I think it does have very good sigma values, it basically makes Champagne a really good, accurate, strong sniper at this tier, with penetration like no one else like in this game for this tier, literally. The game is almost about to end, since our team has lost quite a lot of ships, and there is a Minnesota and Amagi pushing towards C. And since I am pushing for brawling, I know that it's not gonna be possible to do much. Look at the dispersion this time. very much pinpoint accurate, and I hit on the superstructure, dealing good damage. Already on 242k damage, so pretty good damages. But again, since not able to push and support my team directly, it basically makes the game not getting controlled in our hands. And I mean, you only have seen much of the strengths of Champagne. You will be able to soon find out the weaknesses. Now, weaknesses of the Champagne are basically that its armor cannot be like really good under any possible situation whatsoever. If the battleship tried to shoot you, you will have really hard time doing anything. Here you can able to see we have lost a couple of ships again, and now there is Minnesota and Amagi that are coming and pushing towards me. And I mean, the HE of the Champagne is nothing to brag about. Like, it does have a good fire chance with these guns, 6 of them. But I mean, you can set fire sometimes, like decent dispersion. You can have a good chance of setting fire. In this case, I got 3 shell hits, didn't get a fire, which is unlucky. So I switched to AP again, and the game is like almost going to be over. I have almost 39,000 HP. I try to angle as much as possible, but you can able to see that I got Citadel just from the bow. Like, I angled good enough, and Minnesota still able to do massive damage from the bow, because vulnerable armor, it does not have that protected Citadel, because you can easily get overmatched by that. And here I'm just really realized the situation is not good, and here, even though I'm not slightly angled at all, taken again a massive damage, and Amagi killed me at the end. So I mean, regardless, I could not have killed both of these battleships. They are just too strong that it is not possible that I can able to pull them off. So the game literally ends. The game almost have given me a world record. The world record is currently for EU server is I think 270 or 280k damage for Champagne, and I am at 255k damage. So it's basically, I think, the top 10 for the EU server, I would say, in Champagne. But yeah, I was not playing super selfishly even at this game time, because I might have, realized that it's not worth it doing or playing this game selfishly. Maybe I pushed in to do something, but that didn't work. Unfortunately, it was a defeat. But clearly you have seen the power level of Champagne. It's pretty insane. You can able to pull out some good devastating strikes on those poor cruisers that show broadside, and you can able to see that clearly. 255k damage, 9 Citadel hits, and 2 destroyed, and pretty good game. Like, insane 9 Citadel hits can show you that Champagne can be pretty powerful in this tier. Team score wise, as you can able to see, 1.7k base XP loss. So a very unfortunate defeat. The Michelangelo, he played well, but other than that, every single one didn't work for our team at all. And they have quite a lot of good players out there with 2k base XP, even 1.9k base XP players. So they played really well, and our team just struggled quite a lot, especially the lower, base XP players. They just didn't contribute at all. So I hope you liked the video, and you can able to see that what Champagne is all capable about. And yeah, thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please subscribe to my channel, and I will catch you into the next one. Peace out.